So Richmond happened. What's going on, everybody? Cool 200 here, back with another video, and today we are here to talk about the Richmond race that happened Saturday night. It was alright. The first stage was pretty boring. Really not a lot happened. Keselowski led half of the stage, and then Truex would take the rest of it and also take stage 1. So that's really it of that. And then we had some controversy between the 3 of Austin Dillon and the 88 playoff driver of Alex Bowman. Bowman would dive into a corner right next to Dillon and shove Dillon up the track into Bowman's teammate, another playoff driver, William Byron. That would give Byron a huge tire rub. And in the next set of quarters, the few laps later in the corner, Dillon would give Byron a great break because he would actually retaliate against the 88, spinning him, and I believe Paul Menard would get some damage as well, pretty much ruining Bowman's night. He would struggle to even find his way up into the lead lap. He would stay 1 to 2, even 3 laps down at some points for the remainder of this race. So, tough break for the 88. Very aggressive move here in the early part of stage 2. But, you know, it's racing. It is what it is. So, you know. And then the stage 2 winner would be Kyle Busch. He would also dominate stage 2. Pretty much the whole way through. I mean, Keselowski was up there a few times. Truex was really his only competitor. Hamlin was decent as well. And, yeah. So, yeah, I guess there's stage 2. Stage 3 would have more happen with it. Well, first, we will talk about Reed Sorensen, just real quick. He had like a brake failure or something, or a flat tire, and he would ultimately hit the wall. He would go to the garage. His 77 car would be done for the day. And during green flag pit stops, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. goes in, gets fresh tires like every other driver, and he would come out and he would try and pass Martin Truex Jr. to get, back on the lead lap. They would have to all pit again. And he runs, he shoves up the track, cold tires. I guess it's hard to brake sometimes with him. And he shoves up the track and he spins out the leader. Surprisingly, Martin Truex Jr. wasn't too mad about it. Didn't seem like, I'm sure he was heated in the car, for sure. But it was just an odd situation. Leave it up to the 17 to do something like that. Yeah, it was interesting for sure. But yeah, did I mention that stage 2 was won by Kyle Busch? I hope I did. But yeah, very interesting. And now we can get out the broom because Martin Truex Jr. has not only won for the 2nd week in a row, which he's never done before in his career, but he has officially swept the Richmond races for 2019. So yeah, Martin Truex Jr. is your winner. So congratulations to him. He was pretty fast all night. Really did a great job rolling his car through the corners and just finding places to go. Let's talk about Ryan Newman though, and let's also talk about your top 10 right over here. We will look at the playoff points here in a little bit as well. Alright, so first was of course Martin Truex Jr. Like I said, he had an amazing car all night. Won stage 1. The first time a winner of a stage has also gone on to win the race at Richmond for as long as we've been doing the stage racing. So yeah, good congratulations once again to Martin Truex Jr. Really had a solid night. Kyle Busch comes in a 2nd place after finishing 19th at Las Vegas. This is kind of the boost energy that he needed. Ran solid all day again. Won stage 2. So had a solid car all night long. Denny Hamlin, another Joe Gibbs car, ran solid all night. He was up there contending. He didn't really lead a whole lot of laps. I don't really think he led many, actually. But just had a solid fourth or second to fifth place car all night long. And of course, rounding out the Joe Gibbs cars in fourth place is Eric Jones. The first time Joe Gibbs Racing cars have finished 1, 2, 3, 4. Very cool, Eric Jones. He was up and down throughout the top 10 most of the night, but yeah, had some really strong battles with Ryan Newman in that 6th car, and good finish for all 4 Joe Gibbs cars. So good momentum for that whole team. I mean, that whole team is stout right now. It's unbelievable. Brad Keselowski would hold on for a strong 5th place finish. He had what looked like a strong car in the short run, but once it began to go longer and longer, as Richmond typically does, he just fell off. Very, I'm sure, satisfied with a 5th place finish, but led a lot of laps in stage 1, and just couldn't really find that long run speed that they needed. Ryan Newman comes home with a 6th place finish. Like I mentioned, him and Eric Jones were neck and neck most of the night. He ran from about 5th place to about 12th place all night long, but what a strong finish for that 6 team. I have them out of the playoffs after this round, after the Roval. I have him out. He's plus 13. He's plus 13. What? The 6 car that was never close to being playoff contention last year with, or even the year before, with Trevor Bayne, is now plus 13 above the playoff to move on to the next round. That is insane what driver ability can really do for a struggling race team. Heck, even Stenhouse, before some craziness happened, had some solid runs in the top 10. So really good for that team, really looking up for them. I'm going to be honest, I was rooting for Newman. He was 3rd at one point. I'm like, go Newman, get that win, man. But 6th place, that's a good finish for him. Kyle Larson, my man, he finished 7th. Again, really strong. He was plus 17 above the cut line coming into this race. He is now plus 24. That's awesome to see. Super proud of him. Kevin Harvick there in 8th. He was pretty quiet most of the night. I have really not heard much about him in this race, but a quiet 8th place finish. His teammate behind him, Clint Boyer, would get a much needed top 10 after struggling throughout the summer months. He is still not looking good. He's -6, -5 maybe. He's going to need something there. And then, of course, rounding up the top 10 is Daniel Suarez as I start to catch a cold. He was kind of quiet most of the night. I mean, he was around 8th to 12th, I'd say. So solid night for that 41. You know, maybe out of the playoffs, maybe never made the playoffs, I should say. But don't count him out on trying to get some good finishes here. Some notable finishers. Joey Logano struggled all night. He was 2 laps down at one point. Battled his way back up. He could not figure out the car for most of the night, but battled back for 12th place finish, so I guess good for him. Bubba Wallace in 13th. That's a strong finish for that 43 car. Remember, he finished 3rd at Indianapolis, so another solid place finish here in 13th, so good for him. Hopefully that team actually gets something going and maybe makes a name for themselves again, because, yeah, Richard Petty's team name has really been rubbed through the dirt for many years now. Another playoff driver here in 14th is Chase Elliott. He just fell back throughout most of the night. Just could not find anything going for that 9 team. But he's still looking good for the playoffs for sure. Matt DiBenedetto there in 15th. He had another quiet night. He was running top 10, top 15 most of the night, so finishing in the 15th position there. Eric Almirola, another one of those playoff drivers, finishing 17th. Not good. He is very close to being eliminated in these first round of playoffs. I can't remember if I have him moving on or not, but I think I do. So Eric Almirola not making me look any smarter here. Ryan Blaney there, another one that I think I actually had getting eliminated in this round. This is actually one of his worst tracks. His highest finish is 18th, and that's exactly where he finished today. He just needed to come out of here with something, and unfortunately just could not do that. Kurt Busch, my pick, couldn't make me look any stupider. I mean, Jesus, 19th, 2 laps down at the end of the race. Man, he's minus 15. He came in here minus 14. He lost another point. How? Come on. And then there are a few more. I mentioned Alex Bowman struggled all night. He is not having a good run right now. And William Byron as well just could not figure out how to get out of that hole. He started terribly and he finished terribly. Man, it's hard seeing that for sure. So hopefully William Byron can get something up here, but he's very close with his teammate right now. So, yeah. With all that said, hopefully I get a picture of it, but we're going to talk about the playoff standings here. If there's no picture, my apologies. I tried to take one on the television like I did last week. It's probably the worst picture in God's green earth. I can barely read it myself, so I'm not going to post that one. So if there's no picture, again, my apologies, but if there is one, you're seeing it now. So first, here is Martin Truex Jr., of course, with 2 wins now in this first round. He's in. Kevin Harvick and Kyle Busch are locks for sure with the most points here. Denny Hamlin in 4th. Again, he's pretty comfortable moving into this round of 12. Brad Keselowski and Joey Logano as well, sitting pretty good as well. They'd have to have something catastrophic happen to them at the Roval, which is where Brad Keselowski actually fell off a cliff along with everybody else. So, I don't know. The Tom Hartberg turn could be catastrophic again. We'll see. Chase Elliott plus 36, I believe, is what my screen says. Looking decent, just doesn't want to have a 39th place finish, and I think he'll be okay. Kyle Larson there, plus 24. Again, just does not want to finish worse than probably 39th. So, yeah. I think he's okay. Just pick up some stage points and, move into the round of 12 nicely. There, Ryan Newman came into this race minus 6. He's plus 13. He actually got some stage points, ran up front most of the day. Like I said, got 6th place finish. Really solid day for that 6th car. Like I said, after Trevor Bayne, this is just high hopes for this team. Ryan Blaney there, what is that, plus 8, I believe my screen says. Like I said, it's the worst picture, but I'm going off of it here. Yeah, he just needs to survive the Roval. He doesn't want to have another top 15 finish. He wants to have another solid, maybe top 8, at least a top 10 finish. He's got to run good here and just cannot find himself in any trouble. Got to pick up some more stage points, like I said. Yeah. Eric Almirola, plus 3. Ouch for Eric Almirola. Now, he's still looking okay. I would really be sweating here at the Roval, though. This is just an unpredictable race, one of the hardest racetracks probably to race on. Still new to some of these drivers, and only racing once here and it being completely chaotic. He's gonna need some playoff points, and he's really gonna need a top 5, at least a top 7 finish. William Byron only plus 2, not looking good for this man. I had him moving on to the round of 12. Right now, still above the playoff, cutoff here, but it's looking a little sketchy here for him, and he really has to have a great finish, get some stage points, just be up there. And I don't think road courses are the young gun thing. So some of these young kids out here, I don't know, man. I don't know. And then you got Alex Bowman minus 1 or 2 below the playoff cut line. Again, he's got to pick up some stage points. He's got to have a great finish. Man, I feel so bad for Bowman, but I have him moving on, and he's not proving that right now. Again, had a horrible night at Richmond. He was probably waiting for that thing to be over with. But yeah, he's got to have a great finish here. And then we have Eric Jones there minus 3. Same as the other guys, just got to pick up stage points, pick up a great finish, and you'll be all right. Clint Boyer there minus 5. again, not out of it. Just gotta do the same as the other guys. Really stay focused. I think Clint Boyer's all right at road courses. Can he pick up something there? Can he get something? This is more of a veteran style racetrack. Can that veteran experience from Clint Boyer and that 14 team carry on and remove them from that red and make them go into the round of 12? And finally, Kurt Busch minus 15 had an awful night at Richmond. Like I said, couldn't make me look any stupider. I predicted him to win the race, and let's just say he was quiet all night. So yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's Richmond, guys. I hope you all enjoyed the race. Like I said, it was all right. Like, there was some moments here and there, but it was really hard to pass sometimes. But it was, it's my least favorite short track, and it was all right. Like, it was your average Richmond race, I guess. There were some passes for the lead. There were some great battles in the back, but I didn't find it all that exciting. But anyways, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Leave me down a comment below what you thought of this race, and I'll see you guys in the next one. So have a good one, and peace